Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Above the Bar podcast, where each week we belly up to the bar with a new guest, find out what they do, who they are, and what makes them great. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the Above the Bar podcast. It's your host, Sean. I know it's not October. I know it's hot, but you know what? My wife and I, we just finished one of my favorite book series. Is now has a TV series. If you don't know what that is, I'm a big Anne Rice fan. And season 2 of Interview with a Vampire just finished, and it was amazing. So I say to myself, who can help us? Especially here in Albany, New York, where it's not supposed to feel like we're down in Louisiana in the swamps. But trust me, it is very swampy up here right now. So who could help us make sure that we're talking all about those spirit realms and get our good supernatural vibe on? So joining us for her second time, and she's prepared. She already knows about the final word. We got Miss Candi Howard.
What is going on?
What's up, Miss Candi? How you been?
I've been good. Busy.
People already showing up. Brett Fonger is already here. What's up, Brett? So Candi and I are going to talk. We've already prepared an entirely new TV series. We may or may not tell you about this. Because I know all you big TV executives that watch what we do. I don't want none of you jumping on. Tom, that's my buddy Tom. Tom, if you have not watched Interview with a Vampire, the TV series, the movie was good, and it kind of all introduced us to Anne in that way. The TV series, the 2 seasons of it, dive into that in such a crazy way, and the Mayfair witches exist also. And they, are you watching these, Candi?
So good. It's so good. I'm one of those people that certain series like that, I'm not a big TV watcher, but it hooks you, and you can't not get sucked in.
It's so good. Well, we'll talk about all that here in a minute, because we're going to talk about spiritrealm.net, which is Candi got promoted and everything. She's got a new title. She's going to tell us about what's going on with them, talk about some of the investigations she's got going on. What's up, Alexander? Letting us know what's happening. But let's go ahead and get some house cleaning done. As always, we might have, well, here's one for you, Candi. I want you to think about this and see if you know what this is. I want to put this in your head. Do you know what a ghost turd is? Think about it for a second. Do you know what a ghost turd is? Over my right shoulder, we got the big board for sticker and a cause. If you got something you support, maybe you have a paranormal investigation thing. Maybe you've got a website, you've got a band. I don't care what it is. You're looking to get it talked about on the air. You can reach out to us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, X, Instagram, TikTok, our website, the abovethebarpodcast.com, even our email, abovethebarpodcast@gmail.com. Reach out to us. Let us know what you got going on. We'll read about you live on the air so other people can know about it. And we'll put your sticker on the board so other people can see it. Look, there's Aaron D from Talking Beards right there in the middle. So we always keep you guys up there and in front for everyone to see. Now, Candi, we got to talk about our sponsors and see if I can tie. Here's how we'll tie the sponsors in. So there's a type of, we have Budget Blinds of East Greenbush and Budget Blinds of Hudson and Coxsackie, New York. Budget Blinds is your largest custom window treatment company in the world. They're huge. They've got spots up in Canada. They're the best. And they even have a type of blind that it has 2 shades that move past each other, just like it's in the spirit realm. They're just moving past each other. They're called banded shades, and they have motorized, so you can hit a button and it looks like a ghost is moving it up for you. Look at that. I'm tying all of it right in together. I'm just up with shit all day. But reach out to your local Budget Blinds. Let them know that you're looking for some window treatments. They've got everything from drapery, blinds, shutters, shades, everything you could ever need. They even have the ability to put drapery on your wall and make custom pillows that will match that drapery. So you can do it all right there and make it all happen for you. And if you're here in the capital region and you're around that Budget Blinds of East Greenbush or Budget Blinds of Hudson and Cooksaki, New York, and you tell them you're there to belly up to the bar, they're going to give you an extra 15% off your order. They're going to take good care of you. Once again, that's Budget Blinds of East Greenbush and Budget Blinds of Hudson and Cooksaki, New York. Look, there he is, the man who introduced us. If you had haunted blinds, Candi would buy them. Listen, there's only one person that would buy them, and that's Lisa, wherever she's hiding at right now. And you could put them around her dolls. Damn dolls.
Yeah. Well, so
dolls.
Well, Lisa and I both have haunted dolls.
You got dolls too?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I have I recently acquired a friend of mine actually sent me a clown from the 70s. I think he's from the 70s. He's still in his original box.
So how do you know he's haunted?
He talks, he moves, bangs on stuff. Yeah.
Hold on.
You call out his name and you'll start hearing knocks, bangs, whatnot around the house.
I can't do the dolls are a big no. Like I go right back to, and I would assume, I'm going to guess, who the real Legion is.
Yeah.
From the Bible and everything. I go right back to that when people are like, I have haunted things. And I'm like, so you have like one of the demons from Legion living in your home. And they're like, what? I'm like, it's not the TV series, folks. Like, yeah, nope, can't do it. Cannot. Like, why dolls? Like, I don't understand why. Like, why would you have those in your home?
Why not? I mean, I have dolls. I have old surgical kits from the Victorian era. I have baby murder bottles from the Victorian era.
Hold on, stop. What is a baby murder bottle?
Oh, okay, hold on. So back in the Victorian era, they made glass baby bottles.
Okay.
That unfortunately, the way that they made them, they were killing babies because
lead glass or something.
Mm-hmm, yeah. That's wild. So they were called this damn screen. They were notoriously called murder bottles because they killed babies.
That's wild.
Because you couldn't clean them very well, and so they got the notorious name for being Victorian murder bottles.
I never. Look, if you're just joining Candi and I, this is going to be a left turn conversation all day long, because this is how these conversations are. I go, but please take a moment, like, share, follow, do all that. That's how these algorithms work, and everybody knows what we're talking about. So let's dive right into spirit realm for a second before we get into the other stuff. So we were talking a little bit before the show got going, and you were giving me the scoop on what's going on with spirit realm, and there's some pretty exciting stuff happening here. So you want to kind of tell everybody what's going on? Well, actually, let's start with this. So tell us about the promotion.
Okay. So I started out with spirit realm as just a writer. I was just writing, little blips and small pieces for the network. And then I started working behind the scenes a little bit. Then I was offered a show on the network. And then the more that I worked behind the scenes, I ended up being promoted to the COO of the network. So now I actually run all the operations and work side by side with our CEO, our owner. So I run basically everything for the network now.
Well, this is for you.
Appreciate it.
Oh, and Jean Ann says she loves seeing you.
Jeannie?
So
it's crazy.
Well, let me ask about this. So some people may have heard of Paraflix before. Paraflix has been around for several years now, and the fact that Rebecca Tate is watching makes me very happy, and Ashley's out there watching. But tell me a little bit, like what in Spirit Realm makes Spirit Realm different than some of these other ones that are out there and things that are going on.
So we offer live streaming, and it's also archived, so you can watch on demand. not only our live stream investigations, all of our pre-recorded content. So we have series that we record and put on. We have metaphysical shows that are out there as well that you can interact with. We're coming out with some new content as well that we're not going to share quite yet. But you can interact, live chat with everything. And the biggest thing about us that sets us apart is everything is 100% free. We never charge for any content, and we never will. So our biggest thing is everyone should have access to the shows and the content that they enjoy, and it should not cost them anything. There's no subscription, no nothing. You can go straight to the website and watch it absolutely free anytime.
That's super cool. And that is different because most places are there at least $1.99. I mean, why not at least $1.99? I mean, you got to something.
No, so our money is, we're working on sponsorships right now. Everything comes out of our pockets. All of our production, everything. Our CEO pays for everything. It's a labor of love project, and he's been doing this for many years. And so his thing is that everyone should have access to this, and they shouldn't have to pay for it. It's not about making money. It's truly about getting a passion project out there. So anyone that, makes content with the spirit realm, you're paid to make content with the spirit realm.
That's cool.
You're paid for it. Your production cost is covered. Your travel cost is covered, and you are paid to produce content.
Can you say who the CEO is? Is it Bill
Yeah,
Gates?
it's Jim Martin.
I was about to say maybe Bill Gates.
Nope.
He's covering all this. Jeff Bezos.
Nope, Jim Martin.
Well, Jim, you are the man, and we all appreciate that you're doing that. So, I mean, you're not going to tell us about the new things that are coming.
I can give you. I can tell you about a couple of new things that are.
All right. What's some of the new things? Because I gotta get some stuff here. If Rebecca's still watching it, because I know she needs some locations to go.
Oh, we got some awesome ones. So some couple of great new things that are coming up. We are completely reworking our new website. Their current website is up, but we're completely revamping that from the ground up. So everything will be completely redone to enhance our streaming so that everything will stream in 4K. You can actually, if you want to screencast it from your phone or from a laptop to a 4K television screen, it's going to look just as good as if you were sitting in a movie theater.
Nice.
You're not going to have any lag. You're not going to have any pixelation issues. It's going to look fantastic. Your load speed's going to be wonderful. The chat features are going to be enhanced. Usability is going to be enhanced. And then on top of that, we're actually coming up with, it'll come out in just a few months, there will be an app. And it's not going to be the apps where you click and it takes you to a website. It will be an app that, just like Netflix, you can click on a show that you want to watch and you watch the show on your phone. So it's a legitimate app.
So real deal. Look, I had to add that in there at the bottom for you.
Thank you.
So, and look, folks, if you're just joining us, just jumping in, Candi Howard, COO of Spirit Realm Network. She's just not a pretty face. She's also a paranormal investigator. We're going to get into that here in a minute. If you have questions, maybe you've got a little spirit action going on in your place and you want to ask some questions or find out if it's legit or not, please ask away. Candi's history, and let's see if I don't know if I had the second screen the last time you were here.
I don't think so. No.
I mean, so I got to look over here at all my notes here and everything. See how many things I can remember. What I got to look at the notes. Your great grandfather in was it you saw your great grandfather?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you saw your great grandfather. You have an indigenous background.
Mm-hmm.
You've been residential rescue paranormal 02 to 20, and then lead investigator and educator at Research Society Virginia Paranormal. Multifaceted lead at Cross Country Paranormal, investigator and co-designer at Haunted Travels Paranormal, and then investigator, writer, and now COO of the Spirit Realm Network, but this is something for you, the paranormal side, and like Gene just said, Candi is legit. She's been into my house and it's happening.
Mhm.
You're real deal. This isn't one of those things where you're like, where you're like touching your temples. I think I feel something in the
Right.
room. Like, did you have breakfast today?
Right.
No, I didn't think so. Like, come on now. Like
Yeah.
your stuff is legit.
Mhm.
And it's just so interesting to me what you're doing, because a lot of people, they have these gifts, these things fall upon their lap, and they're like, they want to brush it off.
Right.
They want to be like, nah, that can't be real. It didn't happen. Kind of getting into that side of it and how it's brought you to where you are today in your current role. What really, and see, this is what's tough for me, because I can remember things like, was it like an ant or something like that? Like you had did you have like an aunt that really pushed you towards it and
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah. So my auntie
Tell that
was,
story, because I remember the stories and I'm like,
yeah,
who's that?
my auntie was very, she was very open about things. I could go to her and say, I heard something, I saw something, um, and she was like, okay, what was it? What did it look like? What did it sound like? Um, and she was very encouraging with things. She didn't try to stifle it. So her fostering that, you know, in me allowed me to be more accepting of it, instead of like most of us, we push it down, and everyone around us tells us to push it down, push it away. Um, so being able to accept that, hey, there's things that we don't necessarily understand, but if you pay attention to children, we all tell children that they have imaginary friends,
Right.
right? They're open to everything. They don't have that bias. So just kind of foster that within them and go ask them questions. Accept that they're not lying to you. They don't understand what that is, especially at really young ages. So they're seeing something, they're hearing something, just ask them questions, foster that within them, and you never know what's really going to develop from that.
That's interesting.
And then my current team with the show that we are doing now, it came from Haunted Travels. Um, so we've run that into Supernatural Sirens now, and we're filming a show for the network with that. And um, we utilize a lot of scientific equipment because we really want to be able to show, okay, can we disprove something, right? Because you can't prove to someone, you felt something, right? But if you can data log it, right, or you have a piece of equipment that you can show someone, hey, we have evidence of A, B, or C, and then we can take that and go, okay, well, it's not the wiring, it's not the plumbing, it's not this or that, and there's no other all female teams that are doing this. It's really a male dominated field. So we're just kind of breaking down doors and taking sledgehammers and knocking down walls. So,
Well, you brought up something that I got two questions in my head, but I'm gonna start with this one. When you talk about a scientific method or scientific equipment, like my, and I think we talked about this last time. The last big show I watched was two younger teenage guys and like two teenage looking girls, like they were faces, 100% faces. The
mhm.
guys were good looking younger guys, good looking younger girls, and they're throwing cat toys into the room and being like, see, they've made it move, the lights are flashing, and I'm thinking, all right, come on guys, like, it's a cat toy. If I whisper wrong, sometimes those things go off.
Mhm.
When you talk about equipment though, to make something like this, like, more scientific, is there anything that we would consider like the oscilloscope, the
Mhm.
Bunsen, like what is it that, from a scientific standpoint, that is measurable testing equipment to prove or disprove a situation like that?
So certain things you can look at are very basic. honestly. So you can take something as honestly as simple as a balloon that's weighted, right? And you can actually hear me out.
I'm hearing you out.
Weight down a balloon, right? Okay. And you can also have an air meter in the room that's going to test whether or not there's air movement in that room from all directions. It's very simple, but you can say, okay, if that balloon moves and there is no air movement in
There's
that room,
something there.
something's moved it. It's a
Fair
very
enough.
simple way, and it's not taking a ton of stuff to do it, but it's a very simple way to do it.
Now, what's the other side of the coin to that, though? So, if I was looking and I wanted to disprove your theory that hey,
Mhm.
the air's not moving and the balloon's moving, what is the argument to the other side of that? That somebody might say, well, this is why that's happening.
So you could also look at static electric discharge. So you can also measure like static electricity, right? If there's a buildup of static electricity, you could have, um, a oh yeah, Ashley just said request simple movements and directions. If you ask something, move it to the right, and it does it on command. You have that repeatedly happen.
That's when you're supposed to leave.
Oh no, you keep
No,
doing
no, no, no.
it.
Listen to me. That's when you're supposed to leave.
Yeah, so Ashley and I do not do that. No, and I wish Katie was on here because we charge at everything like bulldogs. Like we're like, no, we hear
Oh,
something, we go running towards it.
no, Ashley, that's when I leave. Because if I look at the balloon and I go, Spirit, move the balloon to the right, and the balloon tips to the right, I'm leaving. If the balloon tipped to the left, I would actually stay because I'd be like, well, this is a dumb ghost. Doesn't know their left from their right. So I'm fine at this point. But if it moved the way I needed it, I have to leave at that moment. We can't do that. Mm-mm.
But yeah, and see if only one thing happens, right? We're not going to call that. Oh yeah, that's proof. You have to rule out every possibility before you would ever consider something evidence. So, um, so you have to. We would look at it like, okay, just because it's not air movement, what else could it be? So we would have to rule out everything before we would say, okay, that's paranormal. Which paranormal simply means anything that is outside of the realm of what we would consider normal behavior.
Well, you actually got to my second question. Great segue. I appreciate that. We're connecting.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, what is there a difference between paranormal and supernatural?
Honestly, no. People use them, people think supernatural a lot of times in various contexts, depending upon how they were raised. To
Okay.
some people, supernatural may have, more of a darker connotation,
Okay.
depending upon how they were brought up. Some people feel that paranormal only means ghosts when really paranormal is just the true definition is anything that is outside the realm of what we would consider normal.
Gotcha.
So if you travel to another country and you were to look at someone that had their neck stretched, in that country, like in Ethiopia, I believe it is,
I know
that is
exactly what you're talking
yeah,
about the
it's
rings.
and it's a symbol of beauty. Technically, for what we're used to, that is paranormal, but we don't
Okay.
we don't think of it that way because
That
of,
I
yeah,
get that.
the box that we put it in.
It would be considered in that realm. So I
Mhm.
get no, that makes perfect sense. And again, folks, if you have any questions for Candy, don't be scared. It's
Yeah.
okay. Ask away. But so we have these different. Is there a like? I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about the app and the news. And folks, again, spiritrealm.net is the website. There's a new update coming, but you can still check it out. I'm thinking about that. Is there something like on the website or something you guys have where average Joe Schmo like myself uh, is like, hey, I think there's something going on here, but like a checklist where I could be like, is this? Like you never remember when you watched the Ghostbusters movie,
Yeah.
Egon would be like, "Is this happening? Is that
Right.
happening? Did this happen? Oh, we've got a class 3 here." Nate, the only thing paranormal going on here is the fact of how you draft during fantasy football. There's nothing normal about that.
Nathan, he flat out called you out, man. Like
There's
I'm just
nothing normal about your draft picks. 3
so
kickers in the first round.
we don't have a checklist. However, they can always message the page. I'm the one that answers the messages. So if you guys ever message the spirit realm page, you're talking to me.
Look at that, folks. Now you know. Now you know who's behind the curtain there.
Yeah, now you know who you're talking to. It's always me that answers the messages. So because Jim never gets to them, so I'm the one that answers them.
You're on it.
I'm on it. Yeah. Nathan, would you have it any other way? Come on.
Nate's upset because I talk crap because he always loses to me at fantasy football. That look there. I think his computer is haunted when draft season comes around, and he's trying to find somebody. But so and Gene says, "Yeah, LOL. The more you know." So now, so you're going out and doing these different investigations, going to these locations. You have a process that you guys are following. I think most of us, though, and I'm going to stay with this line of questioning about figuring out is or isn't. I think a lot of people, at least at one point in their life, even if they don't believe, that even if they're like, I'm not buying it, at some point you've questioned what just happened, where did that noise come from, and you then either talk it out of your own head and you go, no, that's not what happened. That's not how that works. I figured it out. Oh, it was air in the radiator making the tapping noise, even though the room doesn't have a radiator in it. That's got to be what it is. But what are some of the things then, if we don't have an actual checklist, but things that you would say to somebody like, is there a level of, yeah, there's something there, probably something there, you need to call a priest? Like, is there like how does that work?
So, I mean, really, the first thing is, honestly, the whole call a priest thing. In 22 years, going on 23 years of investigating, I've only come across one thing that I was ever like, and it was never call a priest.
Didn't hit that level.
No, you don't come across demons. Demons are not waiting around every corner waiting to jump you. Just like on this side of the veil, there's assholes or butt heads, whatever. Sorry.
Assholes fine.
Okay.
Go with that.
There's jerks on this side of the veil. They're the same people on the other side of the veil. It's not, and if you're talking to a spirit, they know how to get under your skin. They know how to scare you. So what's the best way to scare somebody? I'm a demon.
I'm here for you.
Exactly.
Now I've come for your soul.
Right. And they're not. They're really not. It's just not what that is. So, but
you've never run across, and I'm going at Ashley, this is going right into your question of most memorable paranormal experience, good or bad. But you're telling me you've never ran 20 some years, even going back, as a kid, you've never ran across a situation, because we've had the guys from Unearthing the Supernatural. We've had them on, and they're like,
they think everything's horrible and this evil.
Right, they're like there was an earth spirit, and but they're both of them.
Well, earth spirits don't have have an agenda. They don't have an agenda. They're not malicious, nor are they good. They don't have an agenda. You're pushing human consciousness onto something that's not human. It's not good nor bad. Doesn't have an agenda.
So what are the ones that do?
They don't.
They're not nothing like when we.
They're not good or evil. They're not. That's a human construct.
So are you saying that then demons don't exist? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out here.
So, okay. So what we are taught as, this dichotomy of, good and evil, good and bad, those are human traits. Spirits don't have human traits unless it's a human spirit. If you want to look at what a demon is, it's not a human spirit. It can't have human traits. It can't be jealous or wrathful or cruel. That's a human trait. It doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have the ability to have these human traits. That's what humans interpret it to be.
Interesting. See, that's interesting to me.
Because that's just our perception. So that's what someone has projected onto that being, because they can't conceptualize it. They can't understand it. These things just do what they do. I mean, if you look at angels, okay, if you take away what we have been told angels are, we're told angels are good, angels are great, right?
Right.
Look at what angels do. They kill.
Oh, yeah, they're
right. They're wrathful. They maim. Those are not good things, right?
From our moral standpoint, correct.
Right. But we're told that they're good. So in our minds, they're good.
Right. It's a very end justifies the mean
Correct.
type being. But what's got me curious here is, and I know you'll know the name. The husband and wife paranormal team from
Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Right. So, but what you're saying and what we all know about what their experiences were, like in my mind, that sounds counter to each other.
So
help me out there.
You want to go down that rabbit hole?
Well, yeah. And I mean, and Gene says, I think priests are more for true possessions only, like legit demon possessions. But Gene, what Candy's telling me right now is like, that's not a thing.
No, like, you can be spirit possessed,
but not demon possessed. But go down that other rabbit hole.
Okay.
I'm curious because like when I got it, I know the Hollywood representation. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about they had real investigations. Things followed them. They had bad.
Well, okay.
All right, come on.
Okay, so Ed and Lorraine Warren did. So a lot of what they did, they got kicked out of a lot of places. They did a lot of stuff that they did was showmanship.
Really?
Oh yeah. A lot of the stuff that they did a lot for the paranormal world. I will never discredit that. They pushed this field to where it is now. But a lot of the things that they did in their very, religious viewpoint, it was black and white. Everything was evil, right? Period. Didn't matter what they walked into, it was evil. It was a demon, and it was going to follow them home. A lot of their stuff, a lot of their cases, yeah, Amityville's a flat out hoax. I mean, that thing has been proven time and time again. It is a hoax.
You're ruining my childhood. Don't start.
There's an enormous amount of evidence to prove that a lot of the cases that they claim that they went on and cleared and did this and that, they were kicked out of because they were trying to tell people that, hey, if you do this and that, you can make a lot of money. Ed and Lorraine Warren did what they did for money. They exploited people. They lied about a lot of things to make money. And unfortunately, they used their religion to fearmonger. And that's how they made their money.
Really?
Yes.
And they're still making money today. I mean, I think they're both dead now at this point.
Oh yeah, they're both gone.
But
they're both gone.
Wow.
But they exploited a lot of people because they went after people that were very vulnerable, and were absolutely terrified. And if you walk into a home, especially, places with children, and they're already terrified, and you're telling them, Lorraine would walk around and go, oh my God, there's a demon in here. You have just, absolutely terrified a family even more so. And that's never okay. why not sit down and actually conduct a real investigation other than sit down, do a seance, and go, oh yeah, it's a demon.
See, I just want you to understand this, Candy. There is nothing better. I need you to use your best North Carolina accent and really say, "It's a demon." Listen now, son. Listen to me. I'm gonna tell you now. There is a demon in this room at this moment. Lord have mercy, child. There is a demon in here. You make me feel like I'm listening to one of my aunts in Tennessee when my Aunt Pearl would call me like, "Your mama there?
Is your
Yeah,
mama there?
your mama there? Yes, Aunt Pearl. All right,
Yes.
let me
Your
speak to
mom
her.
and them?
Mom and them there.
Your
Yep.
mom and them?
Listen, I know all these. I'm there on every single one of them. Yeah, and Brett, I'm 100% with you. We're all scared of the idea of the demon. We've seen it on TV. We've heard about it. But we also, Candy and I were talking about this. Or actually, we just said at the beginning. You know, it, Legion is a real thing, and if you don't know what Legion is, folks, open your Bible. You'll find out what Legion is, and you can get it into that whole thing. But I mean, I just find it fascinating. And again, folks, if you're just joining us, we got, I'm going to knock a bottle over a demon to show up in this room. We have Candi Howard, COO of Spirit Realm Network. She's a paranormal investigator. You can check her out on spiritrealm.net. If you have questions for us, let us know. Make sure you like, follow, and share, doing all that things. I'm just trying to run through that real quick so we can keep talking. But so let's get into the investigation piece to it for a second. So we all, we've watched the shows like Taps. We've seen all the different ones that are out there. We've seen all the things on TV. Where we're gonna get that in a second. Where are some of the places out there that are haunted that people are like, really, that like I think about the ghost town in the middle of Arizona that everyone's forgotten about. There's those things, or you hear about what's her name's house that chopped up her whole family.
Lizzie Borden.
Lizzie Borden. There's places like that. We all have heard the stories about the haunting, but are there places that are less known that you're like, you've never heard of blank, but trust me, this is going on. And I followed up with this. If somebody wanted to find those things, how could they find it if they wanted to get involved?
Yeah. So, and it'll actually take me back to Ashley's question. She was talking about like what was like one of my best paranormal experiences. So some of the best places are the little tiny ones that just do a Google search. Do a Google search for, haunted places near me, right? And you will find, it'll usually say, haunted places, top 25 haunted places. These are places you never see on a map. They're not going to be these big names. You're not going to see Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. You might see them on there, or you can find Google haunted in my state. Bill Manor in Fremont, Ohio.
What is Bel Air House? Rebecca, what is Bel Air House?
Oh, Bel Air House is, have I been there? I can't remember. Did I go to Bel Air yet?
It's an awfully handsome gentleman that you have your arm around in your picture there, Rebecca. I just want you to know that. It's my best friend.
I love that. No, I don't think we've been to Bel Air yet. I think that's on the books. This
what is Bel Air House?
Yeah, it's in Ohio, I believe.
Listen, can I just tell you, sidebar real quick? Ohio is the worst place in the entire country. Let's just start there. Let's start there for a moment. When I served in the Marine Corps for 20 years, the Marines from Ohio were, every one of them was cock diesel strong. Could pick a house up. And if you said, spell your name, they'd be like, like every one of them was a mouth breather. So nothing surprises me in Ohio that like things like this have happened in Ohio. I'm sorry, Ashley. I'm sorry. I dated a girl from Ohio at one point in my life. But I'm going to tell you, like look at your football teams. You got the Cleveland Browns, you got the Bengals. I mean, There's some, and tell me I'm lying though, Ashley. The men where you grew up, where you live at, are all cock diesel strong. Every one of them wears Velcro shoes. They wear Velcro shoes. Tell me I'm lying. Look around wherever you're standing right now. There is some man wearing a pair of Velcro shoes, or at least slip ones, where he doesn't have to tie them. I'm not lying. I like Ashley. I think I've reached out there.
Oh, Ashley, we know who's wearing the slip-ons.
See that? She said, I mean, I wasn't wrong. But like some of these locations that you're talking about, like Beale Manor, Blair House, Jean said she was just in Jerome, Arizona.
Yes.
I mean, some of these, look, they don't wear shoes. I love it.
Yep.
They just got thick calluses. Look like hooves. But
feet.
Oh God, just I resemble that remark. But some of these locations now, so you were able to just rattle off some places like, hey, if you're looking for go near me, and I'm telling you, if you reached out to Rebecca and were like, Rebecca, we're taking you on one, she would push Sean out of a moving car and be gone. She is. I know no one who's more into that paranormal world than her, and like wants every bit of it. But what are some of like, I got to roll myself back because like I love this. This is so much fun. But when it comes to some of these places, like I think like Eastern State Penitentiary, that's a very, very famous.
Yeah.
There's been tons of investigations there. With some of these places, like I'll mention the one that she's talking about, Blair House. Do you know, like, can you just go to these places? Like, what's the process if somebody wanted to find out?
Most of them have a Facebook page. You just go on to Facebook and book it that way. One of my favorite ones is the 1858 Garnett House. It's in Kansas. It's maybe an hour and a half from Atchison, Kansas. Teeny tiny little house. Nobody really knows too much about it. This place is incredibly active. You get pushed, you hear voices, stuff gets moved, dolls get thrown off the shelves, doors move, shadow figures. It is incredibly active, and nobody knows about it. It's one of those places that I stumbled across, had never even heard about it. And it was like, oh, well, I'm going to Atchison. Hey, let's do this one, the night before. And it was phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah. And then I went to the Sally house the next night, left early from the Sally house because that was the biggest disappointment I've ever been to. And
is that your worst? Is that your worst right there, the Sally house?
Oh, yeah, it was terrible. Terrible. I've never left an investigation early, and we were so bored of just sitting there, nothing happening. It was like, okay, and Ashley can tell you, like, I don't leave investigations early. Right, and so I was like, we're done.
Sally House. Sallie.
Yeah, Sally House.
And he needs a good paint job.
Yeah, it's very well known. It's one of those places that, people are like, oh, it's so haunted. It's notoriously haunted. Oh, yeah, I've been to the Monroe House many, many times. I love the Monroe House. Not sure if it loves me so much. They really like to mess with me. They like to, every time I sleep there, something likes to, like, mess with me when I'm in the bed. But
Yeah,
you get shadow figures that like to stand over your bed there.
You got me Googling all these places right now.
Oh, Madison Seminary. I love Madison Seminary. We've got Ashley, what was the other one we were talking about the other day?
And while they're figuring that out, look, folks, if again, as I always say, we're getting real close to closing the bar up here soon. If you've got questions, you want to look up spiritrealm.net, check out what they've got going on over there. I mean, as you can just see, like we're throwing out locations. Jean said when she moves to Arizona, Candi is going to visit Tombstone, Superstitious Mountains, and Jerome, bringing the whole production team. Oh, here's another one, Pennhurst.
Oh, been to Pennhurst. It was incredible.
Okay, so here's what I'm curious of. So again, I'll go back to ones that I know of. Like, I still think you should go to try to get onto the Watervliet Arsenal. I keep
Yeah,
telling, that's the one I told you about last time, that I don't think people realize, this
yeah,
was a military installation from the War of 1812 that's still active today. So, but is there anything that's more common? Like, obviously, you hear these things like there was tormented spirits here.
mm,
People suffered through this. Like, I get that leaves an imprint to the location, but is there
yeah,
something more than others? Is it ley lines? Is it like, like poltergeist? This was built on an Indian burial ground. You're
yeah.
all gonna die. Like,
It's
what
all
is it?
Indian burial ground.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
all Indian burial ground. It's all soaked with blood. So, but I will tell you, it seems to be like the most active places that I've been in. Gettysburg was every building that we went into, whether it was a shop, anywhere in Gettysburg, was haunted. Uh, Ashley can tell you, like we'd walk into just a regular shop, you cross the threshold, and it's like, oh crap, it hits you in the face. The whole of Gettysburg is haunted. It doesn't matter
Cool
where you
city
go.
to go to too. There's decent food there.
Yeah, yeah.
Baseball was invented there, if I remember right. Daniel Doubleday.
Mm-hmm. Gettysburg's an awesome place.
Now,
But
Brett wants to know. Okay, go ahead, because Brett had.
what was I saying? Shoot, I'm sorry. I want.
I was just getting into like what causes a place to be
Oh,
considered more than another.
it really depends. I mean, I think most of the places that I have found to be um, more active, really, are the places that have had a lot of people going through and have had a lot of activity go on there, good or bad. Um, so hospitals, prisons, homes that have changed hands over and over and over. Group homes, we've seen a lot of activity
I can see
there.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the more memories that have been there, and it doesn't necessarily have to be deaths too. We've noticed that it may not be somebody died there,
Oh,
but
really?
maybe if somebody loved being there and that was their favorite place, that was where that they spent a long time, and they really had an attachment there. There's no nothing that really stops them from going back there.
Hmm.
So we've kind of seen throughout our years of investigation and travel that those places that are loved, or have a lot of activity of people coming and going, you'll see a lot more spirit activity there.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
It's had more energy
Mhm.
footprints just in general. Now,
But
now,
limestone quartz, like earth energy in particular,
is that
limestone,
legit? Like they
it's
hold the
legit.
energy.
Oh yeah, limestone, quartz, and water. Any of those things that are inherent within the building, or underneath the building, like in the ground, will all increase activity exponentially.
Hmm. Now, why is that? Like,
So, so quartz, number one, I mean, that's what runs your computers, that's what runs your cell phones. Um,
okay,
it's basically like, think of it like a microchip. It's like a mini computer. So it's going to store all that energy, and all those memories. Never goes away. And energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It's just on
correct.
eternal loop. Um, and then water is an ever flowing current of energy. So it's just kind of keep everything rolling.
It's almost like the
Um,
spirit highway.
yeah. And water is sacred, at least to indigenous people. Water is sacred. Um, it's it's where everyone went, when you were, if you followed water, you would go there for ceremony. You would go there to, go and find your next place, to camp. So, and water also represented birth and rejuvenation and renewal of life.
Hmm.
And you always knew you were safe to drink the water if the animals drink there too. It's a symbol of purity. So, it kind of goes into cleansing and purification and all of that. So, but then you also look at with limestone. Limestone is similar to quartz in its energetic properties. So it kind of holds energy in place, almost like a battery. So look up stone tape theory.
Well, I was going to your website, but I'll
No, go ahead. You don't have to look it up now. I'm just saying later at some point, check it out because it's really interesting.
It popped right up. Stone tape theory.
Mm-hmm.
Stone tape theory is the theory that suggests ghosts and haunting are similar to tape recordings. I was actually going to ask you that. It possesses the mental impression from traumatic or emotional events and can be projected as energy, which is then recorded onto rocks and replayed under certain circumstances. The theory is sometimes used to explain the cause of past event apparitions. I think that's how you pronounce that. That reading thing gets you every time.
Yeah.
But you, Jean says she has a tape recording ghost.
Yeah, you do. It's just like so like in Gettysburg, for instance, one of the things you hear a lot is you'll hear gunfire, cannon fire over and over. You will hear bits and pieces of the battle.
Or people in the same locations. Like I
yes.
Oddly enough, there used to be a Marine. He was one of these guys. He did 2 to 4 years in the Marine Corps and then retired to Gettysburg, made his money in the food industry. In his house, you could actually see Little Big Top from his house. And there was always a lot of stories about when you walk the grounds, you would see the same person in similar locations almost. And that makes sense where it was like they're stuck in that loop.
Mm-hmm.
So it may not necessarily be their spirit is there as much as there was enough of a traumatic event that happened in that location that left them there.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's a woman that walks my fence over and over like Groundhog Day. Mm-hmm. Look, Gene, if she's not paying rent, she's got to go. She's got to go. And it's not acceptable. And I've got story. Look, you want to hear? I'll tell you funny. If my wife's watching right now, which I think she is, she's gonna come down here and give me a dirty look. So we were at my mom's house, and my mom has spirits that follow her, and tons of stories. But there was a recent, we were at my mom's house and she was telling a story about whichever one it was, whether it be the one, my grandfather who never was in, and that's why I say they follow her, because my grandfather who had never been in the one house that we lived in, had never been inside of the house, and yet she sees him.
Yeah.
Or the little girl that she sees. And it's always and my wife was like, what? And my mom's like, yeah, why? And I'm like, what's the big deal? And she's like, you didn't tell me. I'm like, listen, I've associated that if they're not bothering you, it's fine. They're just as curious of why you're where you are, and as you are where they are. Now, Rebecca had a question. Residual haunting. What do you mean, Rebecca? What are you asking?
Yeah. So a lot of people call it a residual haunting. So that's kind of like stone tape theory. It just kind of plays over and over. It's just that projection. Not really that the spirit's there, but you're just kind of seeing what happened same day, same time, if all the conditions are right. Yep. Now, it's just kind of over and over. It happens.
Left field question, because we're getting close to ending all this. And again, folks, make sure you're checking out spiritrealm.net. All of you that are hanging out, listen to me. I'm going to say it here in a minute, so I won't say it right now. What about your thoughts? Because of your indigenous background and everything, we have a lot of, hey, peyote or sweat room, or what is it?
Like sweat lodges and things like that.
Thank you. I almost said sweat room, sweat lodges, and things of that nature that are supposed to connect us
Mhm.
with these realms based on your experience? Is it, yup, that makes sense? Or is it more of like, no, you've completely dehydrated your body, or you high as shit right now? That's not what we're doing here.
Yeah, no, so it absolutely works. However, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to hurt yourself, because you can absolutely, you know, dehydrate yourself, um, and become overheated and die very quickly. Um, but at the same time, once you kind of are able to get out of your own headspace and kind of be able to differentiate what your physical body is feeling and get yourself into that higher level of thinking, and you open up your mind a little bit, um, you're really able to experience things on a deeper level. Not everybody needs that help, but some people do. But you
I
need an
can
experienced practitioner to help you understand how to do that. You can't just go, oh, I'm going to go hop in a sweat lodge and smoke a little peyote and I'm good. Um, you know,
It sounds like a good time to me.
I mean,
Rebecca, call
now,
Sean. We're going.
now if that's what you want to do, if you want to burn a little mugwort in a room that's not well ventilated, it don't take much. It'll do the same thing. Just
What is
FYI.
mugwort? What is mugwort?
Oh,
That sounds like some Harry Potter shit.
so yeah, you can make mugwort tea. It'll do the same thing.
What is mugwort? I've never even heard of this.
Mugwort is a
Google.
fantastic it's a fantastic herb that is in every good witch's apothecary.
All right, mugwort.
I have a jar like this big of it.
Good Lord, I don't even know what this is. I'm looking it up. It kind of looks like
It's medicine.
It kind of looks like it wanted to be marijuana, but just didn't get any buds.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
If you have anxiety, increase and elevate your vibration. Absolutely.
A perennial plant that is native to Europe and parts of Asia and Africa
Mm-hmm.
is now grown in many parts of the world, including North America.
Yep.
It has historically been used in traditional systems of medicine in different parts of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so smart today.
It's amazing. Like if you have, I'm gonna teach Sean some stuff. Of course.
Look, learning is occurring all over the place.
Yeah, if you
all right, look, I'm planning my journey right now.
if you ever have issues with like anxiety, you can't sleep, those kind of things, mugwort's the best thing in the world. I make mugwort tea all the time. You can go right to sleep. You're not groggy, hungover the next morning, nothing.
I'm just, look, folks, I hope, listen, we got a couple minutes left here. Candy's always a blast to come on. I also will always thank Candi because she always likes my posts and all the other stuff that I have going on. It makes me feel like my show is important. And I love the fact that she does it. If you haven't checked out spiritrealm.net, they are going through some changes. You will look at it and be like, hey, why does it say, sorry, the page you requested can't be found? It's because they're moving some things over. Scroll to the bottom. You'll see featured programs, stuff that's going on. Don't worry about it. We just had Spirit Brothers UK. Hello, everyone. Paranormal investigators from UK here. I would love to look Spirit Brothers UK. Get with me, or if you know Candi, get with Candi. I would love to talk to you if we can figure out the time zone thing, because I find that entire, like, we're a young nation incomparably with buildings. They even say that as a continent, North America, it was like 1500 BC before we really started to settle down in this area compared to European, which were at 3000 and 4000 BC. So that's a long, and not saying there weren't people here, but that's a big difference in timelines and things of that nature. So folks, look, take the time, go see whatever is going on in Spirit Realm. Keep your eyes out for the new app that's coming. Lowman Chronicles. What is that?
Yeah. So that Corey and his family are fantastic.
Forsaken Souls.
Yep. Forsaken Souls is coming out. Like, we got stuff.
I mean, you got stuff going on here.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, we
there's a
do.
lot happening here. Uh, I I don't into the light. Uh,
Yep, that's with Sarah. Um, she's a fantastic psychic medium and tarot card reader. She's awesome, super
yeah,
sweet.
yeah. My man over in the UK. Yeah, we've got locations that have been invested a lot of time in. Been over 5,000 years old. Yeah, that's
Yes,
absolutely fascinating to me. So look, folks,
incredible.
go find Candy. Go find everything they've got going on. Like, share, and follow it. See what she's got happening. As she told us, she's got the entire website's getting redone. Everything about it is free. You'll have live virtual cams that you can watch. They've got events on here, shops. You know, you can get everything that you're looking for on their website. Jim's doing the Lord's work by making this available to everybody so that they can check it out. I mean, I don't listen. eh, I I don't know what to say. Like y'all know, I've had enough stuff happen to me, but we made it, Nate. The show didn't glitch out this time. Like this is a
Woo-hoo.
first. We didn't glitch this time. The spirits must be like, all right, you can have
Yes.
this one.
Be like, all right,
You
let's
can
do
have
it.
this one, punk. Any upcoming things just from you personally that people should be looking out for?
Yes. So August 2nd, anybody that knows the Haunted Hinsdale House, Dan Class, um, his daughter was actually diagnosed with bone cancer. So Ashley and I and the urban investigator, Vince Keelan, we are holding a benefit for his daughter to raise money August the 2nd at Madison Seminary in Ohio. Um, we do have some VIP tickets available. We have a few of those left and some general admission tickets available. Everything goes to Dan. Everything. Um, Adam and Addie have given us the building for free that night. So that literally everything goes to Dan for Shaylee, so
Nice.
that we can make sure that all the money goes to her for them to use what they need it for. So that's August the 2nd. On my personal page, it's just Candi Howard on Facebook. I will repost the event link. So if anybody's interested, please go get a ticket. It's August the 2nd. And if you can't get a ticket, please share it out. Anything we can do for them. Dan has done so much for the paranormal world and others. I mean, the man would give you the shirt off his back, and the least we can do is help his daughter.
That's awesome.
She's 13. No child should have to go through this.
No, not at all.
So, and then we also have another event in Buffalo, New York, August 17th that we're doing as well to raise money. Yes,
Right past me.
At the Banshee Irish Pub
Okay.
is where that one will be. That one's also to raise money for Shaylee as well. That one's going to be a bigger event. So Ashley, that's right? The 17th, August 17th.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was for Ghosts of Super Bowls Never Won.
Nope. That one's for Dan and Shaylee too. So, and I will also post her GoFundMe link as well on my page. So, if you guys will please grab that, share it out. Anything that you can do helps, and hopefully, I will see you guys at one of our events. That would be wonderful.
That would be absolutely amazing. Look, folks, if you're still hanging out with us as we've closed this all off, real quick, the Spirit Brothers out in UK said they were at a Neolithic tomb that was over 5,000 years old.
Oh,
Some amazing response there. Even had a stone thrown. That's pretty wild.
Whoa, that's
That would
crazy.
be super cool. But if you're still hanging out with us, as we always ask of everybody, please take a moment, like, share, follow. It may sound cliche, like share, follow. Look, I saw my kids' programs do it, but listen, that's how these things get found out. That's how we get followed. Following our YouTube, following our pages makes things happen for us, makes people understand what we've got going on. Make sure you check out Spirit Brothers UK. Go follow their page too. They've jumped on here at the end, and make sure you're checking out Realm of Darkness podcast, also over on YouTube. Give them a follow. Saturday night, they were at a 500-year-old haunted cafe in a small town in UK. We got very rich history here. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Make sure again, all those likes, shares, and follows before Candy is prepared for what's about to happen. But make sure you join us next week. Also, we have, if you know me, I like music. Next week we've got Sarah Gibson. She is a fearless singer, dropping her single "Famous by Accident," eagerly anticipated track, unfiltered account of her journey through highs and lows of a viral fame and her unwavering dedication to her musical craft. We've got her coming on. Yeah, thanks, brother, man. I appreciate that. She's going to be on next week. We are taking off July 24th. It's the one week a year that we take off for, and that would be because I'm going to be on vacation in the Cape, which is completely haunted by pirates. If you didn't know, the Cape is full of pirates, so you can come hang out with us. And if you find me in the Cape and you come say hello, I'll buy you a drink. But you got to find me first.
I'll find you.
Because I'll be at the coast out that biz. So, as we do every week, and Candy, remember, do not log off on me because we got to talk for just a moment afterwards, as we always do. But you know what's about to happen. You know what's coming. I surprised her with the last one. The guest always gets the final word. So what's our final word tonight, Candy?
Carry a big hammer and break glass ceilings.
Alrighty, folks, be sure to push your stool in. This has been a Second Front podcast presentation found on Apple, Spotify, and wherever podcasts can be found.